All right, my favorite part. Love this.
Oh, hey, you found us.
All right, so today we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a circus today. You think so?
Are there clowns here? We'll be clowning around.
I bet you we are gonna be clowning around.
There's gonna be some clowning around.
Yep.
We have a line behind us.
We do.
I didn't know.
Johnny's gonna bite you.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, well, today we are at the John Ringling Museum. So yes, that is from the Ringling Brothers Circus days, and this is an art museum as well as a circus museum, and we're gonna have a lot of fun today. This is a really cool place to check out, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's go see what we can get into today. All right, so we have paid our admission, which we have a pass for the museum in Bradenton, and it has a reciprocal, so we can go to other museums all over the U.S., but the Ringling Museum is one of them that gets us free admission for both of us, which is awesome. So we can come here anytime and not have to worry about paying to get in, which is a great thing to do if you're going to visit a lot of different museums and places like that. I would definitely recommend making sure that you get one with that has a long list of reciprocal museums to check out. This is the John Ringling mansion where him and his wife Mable lived. This was built in 1920s. All right, so we'll give you a little bit of information about the Ringling Museum. So some of the visitor information. They are open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Thursdays, you can come in and from like 5 to 8, and they have special pricing for that as well. So they're open a little bit later. And they are closed on Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and on New Year's Day. The admission can be just a little bit pricey. It's $25 for adults, a little bit less expensive for seniors and for kids and students and military and things like that. So there's different discounts. Like we said earlier, we have the passes, so we were able to actually get that waived, which is outstanding. That saved us $50. But the price of stuff in Florida is not cheap, so this is well worth $25 per person. Don't you agree, Kelly?
Yeah, I agree.
So we also did the first floor tour, which we couldn't take the cameras in with us, so we're showing you some footage here of outside of the house. And it was $10 additional, so we did have to pay for that. So $20 total for Kelly and I to go inside the first floor and check out the furniture and the architecture inside of the house, and it was beautiful.
Gorgeous. John Ringling was one of the 5 brothers who owned and operated the circus, rightly called the greatest show on earth. His success was with the circus and his entrepreneurial skills that helped him make who he is. In the roaring 20s, He was one of the richest men in America, with the estimated worth of nearly $20 million.
Yeah, so with all that money, they actually purchased the 20 acres that is currently has the mansion on it and these museum exhibits and things like that. And they purchased the land in 1911, and it's right on the waterfront on Sarasota Bay. So it's really pretty area. And they began spending their winters in the Sarasota area in 1912. But like I said earlier, they actually didn't even start building the house until 1924. So a little bit of time went by before they did that. And the Ringlings actually ended up owning about a quarter of what is now Sarasota. And that's really where the circus got its start, was here in Sarasota. And a lot of the people that live in the area were all related to the circus. So after they were there for a while, they did decide to build the mansion, and they hired a New York architect by the name of Dwight James Baum to actually design this mansion that you guys are taking a look at.
The home is in the Venetian Gothic style of the Palazzo in Venice, Italy, with Sarasota Bay serving as her Grand Canal. Construction began in 1924, and it took 2 years to complete the mansion. It cost $1.5 million, 5 stories tall, 36,000 square feet, 41 rooms, and 15 bathrooms.
At least there's plenty of bathrooms if you have to go, right? True. It's like one room and then a bathroom, a room and then a bathroom. So that's good.
And we learned that there were 7 of the rooms. That was for the...
Yeah, 7 of the bedrooms. We're not sure exactly how many bedrooms they have there, but 7 of the bedrooms were used for staff to take care of the house. So that's a lot of staff to keep there. But $1.5 million for this home, that's not much in today's money for this mansion, but that was a lot of money back then. So they were very, very wealthy, and they showed it off. They weren't afraid of it. So beautiful, beautiful house. So Kelly, what was your favorite part of the mansion?
All of it. It's pretty cool. I like how I'm missing a lot of artwork on the top of the ceilings.
Yeah, so ceilings were covered with a lot of different really cool artwork and like woodwork, things like that. So it was really, really pretty.
Yeah, there was a lot of detailed artwork in that house.
So here's a garden that's just off the side of the house, off the side of the mansion. Really beautiful plants all over the place here. Looks like there are plants for probably all around the world in here. A lot of flowering. Here are the burial sites for John Ringling and Mable Ringling, his wife, as well as Ida Ringling North. So I believe that was one of their daughters. No, that's not right. And this is not their original burial site. They actually were moved here June 4th of 1991 to be next to their mansion. garden. There's Mable. Busy as a bee. He's working hard, isn't he? Banyan trees, baby. Banyan trees. They are.
Is it banding together?
Maybe. Same name of the little cafe right here that we just got some beverages at.
Oh.
He just bailed off there.
Oh.
Geronimo! Alright, so we are now going to make our way over to the art museum, part of the Ringling Museum here, the estate. So we just got some beverages. We had a Coca-Cola. We got some water. It's a little warm out today. It's really humid. Get ready to go into rainy season here in Florida. So we're probably going to get some rain this afternoon. So we're trying to get our visit in before the thunderstorms come in this afternoon. It's getting to that point in Florida where literally every day at about 2 or 3 o'clock, you're going to get a thunderstorm pop up right on top of you, dump some rain, and then move on. this is a center ground of the art museum, which has a lot of really great statues and great architecture and artwork all around it. We're not able to video inside the actual museum itself, but we a little bit of harassment around having this like 10-inch flexible tripod on the bottom of the camera, like had them all worried that I'm gonna like knock stuff over. I don't know if they think I'm swinging the camera around or what, but yeah, so so we're gonna video around the grounds and let you guys take a look at some of the really cool architecture and statues that they have here. These are all bronze statues that are replicas of other statues from Italy. These are all inspired by a garden, I believe, that's in Italy. Mable Ringling was really into Italian architecture, Italian artwork. So that's where most of this comes from, and they even have a replica all the way back there in the background, and we'll walk up to it, of David. All right, so it is about halfway through our visit here today. We still have the Circus Museum to come, which is one of my favorites. So we're going to stop and grab just a small bite to eat. There is a little cafe called the Banyan Cafe. Funny enough, because it's a banyan tree behind us, right in front of Kellie's face. So we're going to grab like a sandwich or something like that. They have burgers, and I think they have a veggie burger. They do little salads, little sides and things like that. So we're going to grab a little bit of lunch and then get over to the Circus Museum portion. Let's see, let's see what you want to eat. You hungry? Where are you going? You left me here. Yep. This little gift shop in the Circus Museum here. It's got a bunch of old circus memorabilia and games and toys that are all circus inspired, which is kind of cool. this is John and Mable Ringling's private Pullman car that they would use to get around the United States, and we're gonna take you guys on a tour through the middle of it, or well, I guess we get to walk on the outside, but look in the different rooms in this car. It is amazing. Oh, and here's where they're working on the miniatures for this little preview of what we'll be seeing when we go into another part of the museum, where they have all the miniatures for a lifelike replication of the circus coming to town. So they're working on making their little miniatures. Some various refurbished train cars from whenever the circus would come to town. I said train cars, I meant wagons. But they would roll these up on the train and then use the train to go from town to town. And then they'd be in the town, they'd set up the entire thing within like 24 hours or so, and then they'd have a circus for a day or two, pack it up, and then off they go again. One of the highlights of a Ringling Brothers show, I think this was like in the 50s and 60s, was shooting the man out of the cannon. So this was the cannon truck. I think on the other side here, they have the door where they would load the person in there and fire them out. You want to give it a go, Kelly?
Yeah, sure.
So it looks like the Zucchini Zacchini brothers. do you think, Kelly?
Pretty cool.
Would you like to be in the circus?
Yeah, is that not a real one? No. I don't belong in the circus.
I could have made a really mean comment there, but I'll hold my
I think I could go on the circus. Oh, Pink.
Yeah. The greatest show on earth. So this was a train that was used, a model train that was used in the movie The Greatest Show on Earth, which was about the circus, and they had a scene where they crashed the train. So this is what the model looks like after it had been crashed in the movie. Big theater lights, movie set lights. Look how small lights are now compared to that. All right, Kelly, this is my favorite part. I hope you guys will really enjoy this part of the Ringling Museum because this is all about the circus and just really cool. And it's got the Howard Brothers Circus model in it, which is just freaking cool. So let's go check it out. You guys ready? Here we go. So this is a 3,800 square foot model depicting the American tented circus during 1919 to 1938. So that's what all of this footage will be here. I mean, it's immersive, completely immersive. You have models on both sides as you kind of walk through. So this is a town. So trains would pull into small towns and cities and offload all the animals and all the workers. And all these miniatures are done. You guys seen a little bit earlier the gentleman who was doing all the little whittling with the men and stuff. These are all hand created for this model. And just to give you a sheer scope of the size of this thing. I mean, this is a model maker's dream, man.
There's the kitchen.
Yeah, and the details down to like all of the people working in the circus, and this is the commissary, so the kitchen, and then the where they sit and eat. It's like a restroom there, bathroom.
Yeah.
And then every circus back then would start with a parade. So there would be a parade through the town with the animals and street performers, and that would all lead, and people would then follow that parade into the circus where it was set up. So it was kind of just a really neat procession. And this is a replica of one of the last cars that would be in a train, and this would be playing music for all to grab everybody's attention and get them to follow them. I mean, all the way down to like they even created the trucks that have like the generators on them to run lighting and all that. And just so much detail in everything. And this is the entrance where the performers would come in into the big top. There's your big tent. And that's where the main show would be. Oh, yep. So one of our performers here that rides a bike on the tight wire, she fell off. There's so much character and story behind everything that they did with this. It's just so neat.
They clear all that stuff out.
Thank you. So in putting this together, they would not allow the Howard brothers to use the Ringling brothers' name when they did this piece here. So you'll see like different made-up circus names around each of these pieces. Yeah, so it darkened, the lights came on, so it demonstrates what the circus and the town look like at night. I don't know if you can see up on the top, they have like a sky in with clouds painted up there. Telephone lines.
Yeah, the telephone line. I just realized I've seen that. It's the first one I've seen that.
Hey, look, for on 10 cents, you could check your bicycle and they'd watch your bicycle.
It's a real car. Frozen delight.
A lot of this I'm gonna have to just speed it up and move through.
Well, you don't have to go as fast because you're going pretty fast now.
Yeah. And these tents here are like the sideshow tents. So those will be set up with a lot of the common sideshow.
Oh, I know. How many pounds of food?
And then here's the entrance to the big show. And then you would go through this first tent here before you get to the main tent. And they would have exhibits and animals on display, things like that, whenever you went through this tent here. Looks like we've got some workers down here. How big did I say it was? 3,100 square feet? Because that could be the question. How big is the model, circus model? Look at all the elephants.
The giraffes.
It's 4:30.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of elephants in there.
They should pipe in the smell of popcorn.
Yeah.
And this part is amazing. So they little cut away so you can see inside the big top here. Look at this.
There's the band back there.
So much to look at. You could probably stand here for hours and just keep seeing new and new things and all the detail that's provided. And all the circus sounds you're hearing are all played in through speakers in here to really, like I said, make it a really immersive kind of exhibit.
Big lady.
Looks like she would be like a movie star or something.
Yeah.
Horse trainer.
Some more horses. Got a shower tents over there. There's an elephant on this over here.
Uh-oh, elephant on the loose.
And then I just kind of killed Gina. It's the most disgusting shot I've ever. I thought that was gonna airball. I saw it hit the backboard and then I was like, and then I ran. I was like, what?
And then when the circus was over, they'd load everything back up onto their train cars, and away they would go to the next town or city. Saying of get on the bandwagon, that's exactly what they're talking about. That all came from the parade. So there would be the bandwagon that led the parade, and people were supposed to get on or follow the bandwagon to get to the circus. So just remember that whenever you say jump on the bandwagon, that's what it's referring to. This room here has a lot of just really great performance costumes. And so the Ringling brothers setting up shop here in Sarasota and having so many very performance-minded, artsy individuals is really what set the stage for Sarasota and its growth. And the reason Sarasota got so popular was because of the circus performers living here and more people moving to the area that were performers and artsy. And that's now why one of the, I guess, best known art schools is actually here in Sarasota, and it is actually the Ringling School for Art. And that's where our daughter wants to go to school since she's into animation and art. So if you do come check out the Ringling Museum and Circus Museum here, definitely recommend that you stop here at the Howard Tibble Workshop. They are actually playing
a video. They have a couple different PBS videos that they're playing. You can see it right there, that show you kind of how it all got started, how Howard Tibble decided to start doing this and his love for the circus, and the story behind it. So make sure you watch. There's 2 different videos, so watch both of them whenever you come. Highly recommend those. They're great. You might be able to find them online somewhere because they were done by PBS. So I think if you search for Howard Tibble PBS, you might be able to find it. But great videos that will explain why he did the whole layout that we walked around, the whole model piece. All right, that concludes our visit to the Mable and John. Is it the John and Mable? John and Mable Ringling Museum, and it's art museum. They also have like I said, the Circus Museum, as you guys got to see. This is one of our favorite places to come check out. And you don't have to do the whole thing in one day. You can break it up and do different parts. They do multiple day passes for it as well, which is great. Or you can come for one day. You can do it in one day. I mean, we were only here for a few hours and we got through everything. I would say the very first time you come, plan on spending a good amount of time here because you want to read this stuff and really get the history behind the Ringlings and the circus, and then why they are art collectors and did all of that. So really fun time. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in our next video. Have a great time.
Bye.